Hey there. Ever thought about who makes those awesome hotel stays so great?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't just mean like the comfy beds or the amazing food,
Right.
but like the whole plan that keeps everything running smoothly
Yeah.
and making money at the same time.
It's a big job.
It is. And that's what we're diving into today, becoming a hospitality revenue manager.
Ooh. I like this one.
It's a career that's both financially rewarding, so you can make some good money.
Which we all love.
Exactly. But it's also about creating these really cool experiences for guests.
Absolutely.
So we got a ton of insider info today. Career guides, real interview tips, the works.
Lay it on me.
Our mission, to get you prepped to ace that interview and land your dream job in this awesome
Yeah, you
field.
love it. Sign me up.
And the best part is we're going to really dig deep on some typical interview questions.
Okay.
But not just like give you the basic answers. We're going to
Yeah.
help you craft answers that show off your strengths and make you stand out.
Make them remember you.
Exactly. It's like having a cheat sheet for those tricky questions.
I like it.
Speaking of cheat sheets, our first source is a really detailed career guide
Okay.
that breaks down everything from what the job actually involves to how much you can earn.
Salary is important.
Oh, absolutely. And it gives a really clear picture of what a hospitality revenue manager actually does on a day-to-day basis.
So it's like the behind the scenes look.
Yeah. So think of it, it's like being the conductor of an orchestra.
Okay.
But instead of instruments, you're orchestrating pricing strategies. You're
Interesting.
managing inventory to meet demand.
To make sure they don't run out of rooms.
Exactly. And you're working with all these different departments to create a really smooth and successful guest experience.
Wow. So you're like the maestro of making sure people have a good time.
Like the maestro.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But this career guide also mentions some potential downsides.
Oh, there's always downside.
There are, right? It's not all sunshine and roses.
Right. Right.
It can be a pretty high-pressure job with long hours, especially during those busy tourist seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Got to be on top of it.
Exactly. But on the plus side, that same pressure can be really rewarding.
How so?
Well, when you see your strategies leading to more bookings, happier guests, and the hotel making more money.
Oh, so you see the impact.
Exactly. It's like, I did that.
I bet that feels good.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
And knowing you've helped a hotel thrive and created these unforgettable moments for people,
Right.
that's got to feel pretty amazing.
It's like you're making memories happen.
Exactly. And that's why getting ready for your interview is super important.
Preparation is key.
Always. This career guide also highlights some essential skills that employers are looking for.
Like what?
So things like analytical thinking.
Okay, got to be able to analyze.
Yep. Problem solving.
Can't forget that one.
Communication is huge,
Right. Got to talk to people.
of course.
Yeah.
And then obviously a genuine love for the hospitality industry.
You got to love what you do.
Exactly. And that's where our next secret weapon comes in RoleCatcher.
Ooh, tell me more.
It's this AI-powered platform that's like having a career coach in your pocket.
In your pocket. I like it.
Right. Especially when it comes to interview prep.
Okay, so it helps you get ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is that it can actually analyze specific job descriptions and tailor your answers accordingly.
Oh, wow. So it's not just generic advice.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about knowing the right answer, right?
Yeah.
It's about framing it in a way that clicks with what that specific employer is looking for.
So it's like personalized coaching.
It really is.
Okay. So question 2 dives into the techie side.
Okay.
It asks, can you talk about your experience working with different revenue management systems?
Ah, yes, the tech stuff.
Because it's not all just about gut feelings anymore, is it?
No, not at all.
Hospitality revenue managers, now they rely on some pretty sophisticated software.
Yeah, it's serious business.
It's like having a superpower. You can analyze booking trends in real time,
Whoa.
forecast demand really accurately, and even tweak pricing based on things you might not even notice on your own.
That's wild. It's like having a crystal ball.
Kind of, yeah.
So when you answer this question, should you just list off every single system you've ever used?
You know, it's not really about name-dropping every system under the sun.
Oh.
It's more about showing that you're comfortable with technology,
Right.
but also highlighting the ones that are most relevant to this specific job you're applying for.
So do your homework.
Yeah, exactly. This is where reading that job description really carefully pays off.
Make a checklist.
Because if they mention specific systems in the job description, you want to make sure you address those directly in your answer.
Gotta be specific.
Yes.
And I feel like this is where RoleCatcher can really give you a leg up.
Oh, for sure. One of the things I love about RoleCatcher is that its AI can actually pick out those keywords
Really?
from the job description.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then it tells you which systems you should focus on.
that's so helpful.
Right. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've wowed them with your amazing tech skills.
Right.
What's next?
Question 3 is a tricky one.
Okay.
It asks, how do you make sure that your pricing strategies are competitive?
That's a good one.
It's all about finding that sweet spot, right?
Between,
Between making the most money, but also making sure your guests are happy.
because you don't want to be the most expensive hotel with no one staying there.
Exactly. This question is your time to shine and show that you understand how the market works.
Okay.
You need to explain that you can analyze what your competitors are charging.
Right.
Factor in things like if it's a busy season or if there's a big event in town.
Oh, yeah, like a concert or something.
Yeah. And then adjust your pricing strategy based on all of that.
So you're always kind of one step ahead.
It's like a game of chess, you
I
know?
like that.
You're always thinking a few moves ahead, trying to anticipate what your competitors are going to do next.
That makes sense.
And don't forget to mention what makes your hotel special.
The special sauce.
Exactly. Maybe you have an amazing rooftop bar with a killer view.
Oh, yeah, I love those.
Or maybe you offer unique local experiences that no one else does.
That's important.
Those are all valuable things that might mean you can charge a little bit more.
It's about value.
Exactly. It's not just about being the cheapest. It's about understanding what you offer and making sure your guests see that value.
Love it. Okay, what's the next interview challenge?
All right, question 4 is all about forecasting demand.
Okay, that sounds important.
It's huge. The question is, can you describe your experience in forecasting demand for hospitality services?
So it's like predicting the future of how many people need hotel rooms.
Basically, yeah. Accurate forecasting is key in this role.
I bet.
This is where you really get to showcase those analytical skills,
Okay.
your ability to look at past data, spot trends, and predict any potential ups and downs in demand.
And I'm guessing being able to handle surprises is important too.
Oh, absolutely. Like, what happens if a music festival suddenly pops up in town?
And everyone needs a room.
Exactly. You need to show you can adapt and adjust your forecasts based on the unexpected.
So being flexible is key.
Don't be afraid to share a story about a time you faced a curveball and how you used your skills to handle it.
I like that. Tell a story. Okay, what's up next on our list of tough interview questions?
This one's a bit more, I don't know, philosophical maybe?
Deep thoughts time.
Question 5 is, how do you balance making the most money with keeping your guests happy?
Ooh, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is.
Because, sure, you could try to squeeze every penny out of your guests.
Right.
But in the end, that's probably going to backfire.
Yeah, they won't come back.
Exactly.
This question is meant to see if you get the bigger picture.
Okay.
It's about showing you're not just fixated on numbers, but that you understand creating a good experience for your guests is what leads to them coming back and spending more in the long run.
It's about building that relationship.
Exactly.
So how do you recommend someone answers this question in a way that really clicks?
I'd focus on finding those win-win solutions.
Win-win. I like it.
For example, you could talk about how you started a loyalty program that rewards people for staying at your hotel again.
Oh, yeah. Loyalty programs are smart.
Or you could talk about how you worked with the marketing team to create package deals that offer real value to the guests while also bringing in extra revenue for the hotel.
So it's like that upsell, but done in a way that feels good for everyone.
Exactly. And don't forget about online reviews.
Oh, yeah. Those are huge.
When guests have a great experience, they leave positive reviews.
Word of mouth is everything.
And then that attracts even more guests. It's a beautiful cycle.
I love it. Okay, we're halfway through our interview question marathon. What's next?
Question 6 takes us into the world of negotiations.
Ooh, getting serious.
The question is, can you talk about your experience negotiating contracts with corporate clients?
Corporate contracts. Sounds intense.
It's a different ballgame for sure, but the basic idea is the same.
Okay.
You need to show them you can communicate well, fight for what's best for your hotel, and be good at finding solutions that work for everyone involved.
So it's not about being like a bulldog.
No, not at all. It's more about building relationships and finding common ground.
Got it.
Highlight any experience you have negotiating things like corporate rates, group bookings, or even partnerships for big events or conferences.
So basically, any time you've had to negotiate a deal.
Yeah. And if you can put some numbers behind your successes, even better.
Quantify it.
Like maybe you negotiated a contract that brought in a certain percentage increase in revenue. Things like that really make an impact.
Show them the money.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing RoleCatcher can lend a hand with this question too.
100%. RoleCatcher's AI is awesome for understanding what corporate clients in different industries are really looking for.
Oh, wow.
So it can help you tailor your answer to show you get their priorities.
It's like having insider information.
Kind of.
I love it. Okay, so we've tackled negotiating. What's next on our interview prep journey?
Question 7 takes us right back to the data side of things.
Back to the numbers.
It asks, how do you analyze revenue data to find trends and ways to improve?
So it's about finding those aha moments hidden in the data, right?
Exactly. This is your chance to prove you're a data-driven decision maker.
Show them what you've got.
Don't just say you're good with numbers, you have to show them.
So instead of saying, I love spreadsheets, maybe say something like, I use data visualization tools to find booking patterns, and then I use that information to adjust our pricing strategies.
Perfect. Be specific. Mention the key metrics you track, like occupancy rates, average daily rate, or ADR, and of course, RevPay.
RevK.
It stands for revenue per available room. It's a big one.
Okay, got it.
And don't be afraid to get a little technical here.
Impress them with your knowledge.
Exactly.
And again, I have a feeling RoleCatcher's AI could help you figure out which metrics are most important to highlight, right?
You're getting it. RoleCatcher is like having a secret decoder ring for what hiring managers are really looking for in your answers.
I love that. Okay, data analysis check. What's next?
Question 8 links data to action.
Okay.
It asks, can you talk about your experience in creating and implementing marketing strategies to boost revenue? This is where your strategic thinking skills come in.
Because you could have the most genius pricing strategy ever.
Right?
But if nobody knows about it?
It's useless.
Exactly.
This question lets you understand how marketing and revenue management go hand in hand.
They're like two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
So how can someone really knock this answer out of the park?
By showing off their experience creating targeted campaigns, using different marketing avenues, and most importantly, tracking the results.
Data was key.
Always. Did you run a social media campaign that got a ton of direct bookings? Did you team up with influencers to get the word out? Share those wins.
Don't be shy. This is your time to shine.
Exactly.
Okay, what's next on our interview roller coaster?
Question 9 switches gears to leadership.
Okay.
It asks, can you describe your experience leading a revenue management team?
Because a great revenue manager doesn't just work on a team. They often lead one too.
Right. It's about inspiring your team to hit those targets and make things happen.
Exactly. So this question is all about figuring out what kind of leader you are and if you can motivate others.
Yeah, think back to times you've mentored your colleagues or helped resolve conflicts or even brought in new ways of doing things that helped your team be more effective.
It's about making a difference.
Right. So don't just list off your old jobs.
Right.
Really dig into the details and show them how you've moved the needle and made things better.
Show them you're a rock star.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to talk about those soft skills, communication, teamwork, being able to adapt. Those are all super important for being a good leader.
It's about being someone people actually want to work with, not just have to work for.
100%. Okay, ready for the grand finale?
Get me with it.
All right, question 10, the last one. How do you stay up to date on the latest trends and best practices in revenue management?
Ooh, good question, because this industry changes so fast.
It really does. New tech pops up all the time. Time travel patterns change, and what guests expect is always evolving.
It's a moving target.
It is. So to stay ahead of the game, you got to show them you're committed to always learning and growing.
So it's not just about keeping up, it's about being the one who sets the trends.
Yes. This question lets you show off how much you love this industry and how dedicated you are to staying on the cutting edge.
I love that. So what kind of things should people mention in their answer?
Talk about industry magazines, you read conferences, you go to webinars, you watch anything that shows you're actively looking for ways to learn and improve.
Be a knowledge sponge.
Exactly. And don't forget about those certifications. They're like gold stars on your resume.
They show you're serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
They prove that you're not just keeping up, but that you're going above and beyond to level up your skills.
It's like saying, I'm not just along for the ride, I'm driving this thing.
I love it. That's the spirit.
Okay, so we've covered a ton today. We explored what it really means to be a hospitality revenue manager, broke down those tough interview questions, and even saw how RoleCatcher can help you craft those perfect answers.
We did it. It's all about mixing those sharp analytical skills with a real passion for hospitality and a drive to create those amazing guest experiences.
Well said. And don't underestimate the power of being prepared.
Never.
With the right tools and resources like RoleCatcher, you can walk into that interview feeling like $1,000,000.
Confident and ready to wow them.
Exactly. Well, that's a wrap for us on this deep dive. Until next time, happy job hunting. And remember, the perfect role might be just a click away.